Welcome to
The Neapolitan
Scoop Podcast.
My name is Steph.
My name is Shay.
and my name is Rose. Thank you for tuning in to the Neapolitan Scoop Podcast, where you get your weekly scoop. If you have not subscribed to the podcast, what are you waiting for? Go subscribe right now. Today's topic is sex. I am not going to give you too many background on sex because we don't care about the background about sex, right? We care about some fun facts. So, according to healthline.com, some surprising facts or some surprising details are the following. One, sex helps relieve stress. I completely agree with that. Two, people with less than a robust, here I go again with my tongue clicking.
Robust.
People with less than robust sex life tend to take on more work to compensate for the lack of fulfillment in the bedroom. That's sad because we're all kind of hard workers, but I don't agree with that one too much. Men who have sex at least 2 times or more each week were less likely to die from heart attacks than men who have sex less often. Ladies, give your men some sex at least twice a week so they don't die from heart attacks. Arousal or an orgasm, our brains release oxytocins. Research at Rutgers found that this surge in oxytocin may actually help women feel less pain, especially during menstruation. So it's okay to have sex during your period and relieve some stress. I mean, it's okay. There's a lot of things you can do to release some of that stress. According to some research, men over the age of 50 who frequently have sex are less likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer than those men who are their same age and don't have sex as often. So I thought those are some really cool facts. It's cool facts to know. With that being said, we're gonna send this over to Shay for some questions.
All right. Thank you, Rose, for that introduction. So, for the first question, let's see. What do you think when you hear the word sex?
Female, male.
Okay. I think intercourse. You say sex, I'm gonna think intercourse.
I don't know. When sex, I think just nasty.
Oh, okay. You
Just
said nasty.
Nasty.
Nasty. Freak nasty.
That's funny how we all have different associations to the word sex.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You Rose thinks intercourse. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like if you're asking me male, yeah, it's also male and female, but I think in my little brain, if you ask me, like if you're asking me for my sex, I would be like my gender. So that's I don't know. When you say sex, I'm like, oh, my ears perk up, like,
But it's one word can be translated so many ways.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Definitely.
gender, within sex, you notice they added on another alphabet. I think it's X now.
Nobody nobody from the LGBTQRXYZ communicated that to me.
Spicy.
I think I saw it on Instagram or something. I didn't read much into it. I just saw it and it said they were adding another alphabet, and I'm just like, what is this?
We're gonna leave it at LG. No, I don't even know what it stands for. LGBTQ plus. We're gonna leave it at plus. We're gonna add, but then people get offended because they're like, I'm not a plus. I am a J.
They want to be specified and incorporated. Okay, baby, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm a broom, so that's cool too.
A dinosaur. We talked about being dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So
a watermelon.
I'm a watermelon, so include me, goddamn.
Yeah.
Whatever I say I am. So whatever y'all say y'all are, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, I agree. Just don't get mad at me if I call you something different. I'm not how you don't expect me to know that you want me to call you T-Rex instead of he.
I think
So
people should just be like, "Hi, my name is whatever, and uh, what y'all say? I identify as this." So now, okay, cool. Thank you for telling me that. Now I have to, forget it or mislabel you. It should just
but
be
it's
a part of the
hard.
introduction.
It's hard though.
Identify with something different the next day.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bitch, at this point, you need to identify as crazy.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that crazy, but just don't expect people to know what you identify and get offended when they don't, or if they call you something wrong. It's different if somebody's calling you things the wrong thing on purpose. But like when you're going to the store and you look like a whole man and somebody calls you sir, but you identify as a woman, don't
It's
get offended.
ma'am.
Yes, it's ma'am. You're like, ma'am, okay.
That's not what that bass in your voice said.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. I think that people just should be that identify themselves as anything outside of the what is known need to actually say it. Like you said, kind of introduce the fact that, okay, I identify as watermelon. You should call me watermelon and be forgetful. People forget because it's not normal for people to be wanting to be called watermelon. So be be forgiving of people calling you ma'am or sir. Just say correct them again, watermelon, and call me watermelon. I think I don't know. I don't see why
Yellow.
people get so offended. I don't know why
Yellow
people get
watermelon.
so offended. We need to do that in one of our podcasts, just kind of change what we call each other identities and see how hard it actually is to call somebody like sir or ma'am or John instead of Stephanie or instead of
You
Deshay
know,
or Shay.
I can't remember
know,
people.
you know what's crazy? I have a hard something. Okay, so I don't know how to explain this, but like, say for instance, if I'm talking to a guy and he may sound flamboyant. He's clearly a boy, but he sounds flamboyant. It's just something in my brain, like when we're talking, especially if we gossiping, I'll be like, girl, and I'll be forgetting, I'm like, it's a whole dude I'm talking to. And I don't know if they catch it. It's
Mhm.
just because of the conversation, your tone, just different things. I'm like, girl. Or like if it's like
Mhm.
like a girl and she's like a tomboy, and if I'm talking to her and she's a stud, I might be like, boy, not even thinking that
Mhm.
or maybe she identifies as a tomboy, as a stud, and I'm just like, girl, like sometimes I mentally catch myself saying these things, and I'd be wondering if they caught me calling them girl or boy or whatever
Mhm.
too. I don't mean to, just like because of what I'm looking at
Yeah.
or because of like the conversation, my mind immediately switches like the gender.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just we associate gossip and talking and kikiing with another woman. It's just normal for us. It's like I see why some people get offended. I understand. It's been a long fucking way to get here to get identified. It's been a long way for the LGBTQIA plus community to be identified, to be actually, out here and say, we're here, we actually exist, we are real. But come on, like have some leniency. Like it's I don't know. My struggle hasn't been the worst. I haven't had like a crazy, coming out story, nothing crazy. So I don't know, maybe just because I haven't gone through everything, it doesn't offend me. And I feel like people should be more forgiving and people should be more open to understand that it's not normal, it's normal for us. It's maybe normal for the LGBTQ plus community, but not for other people. For you want to be called it or they or them, like that's not normal.
It's not
Like
normal.
no, we're gonna normalize it at some point, but it's gonna take time. Like,
It's not,
come on,
yeah.
for the longest, for thousands of years, millennia, all we knew was he and she. And it's like now you're saying they, them, it's like, come on, just hold on, it's coming. People are gonna know that it's there. They're gonna start identifying those. But it just like don't expect people to know off the back, oh, I identify as them. Uh-oh, we lost Steph. So yeah, yeah, it's just, I don't know. People should be, especially people that identify as something other than male or female, should be a lot more lenient towards everybody else, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
I personally think that, like you said, Rose, people should give people grace when it comes to stuff like that instead of like taking offense quickly. And I don't know why people honestly why people take offense because, like, I have had so many situations actually recently where people look at me like I'm an alien when I start speaking Spanish. And they literally would stare at me and then they'll like look at me like this and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I speak Spanish. And then
Yeah.
I had one girl, she was sitting next to me and she heard me talking to someone and she heard me talking Spanish. She looked at me, then looked back, and then looked back at me again. And then she was like, were you just speaking Spanish? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, it's almost like she wanted to ask me, like, how do you know Spanish? And I
Yeah.
did ask me, she was like, how do you know Spanish? And I was like, because I'm half Hispanic.
First of all, don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it.
She was very apologetic. I'll say that. I didn't take offense to it because most people, when they look at me, wouldn't think that I spoke Spanish. It's the same thing with
Yeah.
male. Like, if you look like a man, then people are going to assume you are a man or identify as a man. You
Yeah.
know, nobody lives in your brain to be like,
Yeah.
let me figure out what you
Mhm.
want me to call you. No, just tell people what you want to be called.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, but it's like so many people nowadays just they feel so privileged. Like, oh, it's me, and you have to. Oh,
Yes.
but I got better shit to do. Like,
They
try to
want to run the streets like they're RuPaul. Just
just tell me, okay, you want that's what you want me to call you? All right, fine, cool. And we move on. So
Right.
yeah, like I don't know. I guess I was just born in a different era, different generation where it's like, look, it is what it is.
we all were. Even within the LGBTQIA plus community, there's people that are like, look, for me, it's just gay, lesbian, and bisexuals. They're like, it shouldn't be that complicated. But then we have the newer generations, and some of us I identify as something else. Like I myself identify as pansexual. When I tell people I identify as pansexual, they're like, oh, so you have sex with a pan. Like even people from the
Oh,
LGBTQ
I remember you
community.
told me that. I'm like, so you really would love a treat. You would love a treat. Okay.
Right, right. So it's kind of like,
No,
first of all, I shouldn't be explaining how bisexual and how I identify and what it is, but for me, it's a fluidity. So bisexual, you're attracted to both male and female. For me, it's I'm attracted to anything that I actually have emotional attachment to. Could it be a tree? If I could form an emotional attachment with a tree, maybe. Am I gonna fall in love with a tree? No, no, I'm not gonna fall in love with a tree, guys. I think once that happens, when you're falling in love with like dogs and trees and the fuzzies and stuff like that, there's more to that. There's more to your mental health with that.
Yeah, that's a whole nother alphabet to add.
The fuzzies and the Furbies.
the
Oh,
tree.
Huh?
Okay, like really,
Yeah.
what do you in
People
this?
fall people fall in love with cars and trees and yeah, want to
you
marry
ever
their
seen that
car.
image of that tree that has like it's a shape like a something that has like a butt on it? It's like it's a picture that's been going around of a tree, and it looks like it has a fat ass. So when
Poor
people say,
baby.
I'm like, somebody really wants this tree. I'm pretty sure somebody walked past that tree and like that tree got a fat ass, and Lord, what I would do to that tree.
Not a fat ass.
Girl, I'm sure there's a lot of people that would.
I'm gonna have to find it. So when I'm talking about it, I'll put it in the video if I can.
I am not gonna say I am mentally well, but I am mentally stable enough to not fall in love with items.
Girl, or animals. That's just crazy.
Humans. I like humans in all types of shapes, sizes. Humans.
All
Mhm.
right. So enough about that. So next question. What do you think a normal sex life slash activity should be like? I don't know.
A normal sex life.
I don't know. I think like TV and media and porn makes it seem like you should be having sex every day, and ain't nobody got time for that.
Right. People be too busy working. You be tired. Like you just fit that shit in when you fit it in.
Right. I
Let me
to be
see.
agree.
honest.
It happens when it happens. And if it's once a month, twice a month, 3 times, shit, I'd be happy if it happens once a week. But at this, and then you have kids, and kids are also part of your life. So now you have to like hide the kids before you have sex, make sure
Put the
they're
kids in
dead
the
asleep.
bed.
Yeah. Then they
By
wake up in the middle of the night.
the end of the night, you just want to like lay down. You are not trying to do any extra activity. Like when we were younger, we didn't have all these responsibilities, so we had the energy for all the extra activity.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, sex
Yes.
was also like something that was new to you when you were younger. So you craved it a lot more. I think about that a lot. Like now, how I was back then. I'm like, I remember the first time somebody did this to me, and I'm like, I remember just being wet as a goddamn pool, and I'm just like, why is that? But it's just like because it was something so new. You've never been touched in that area before. You never felt
Yeah.
anything like that, so you craved it a lot more when you were younger. Now you are older, you done had X amount of partners, you done had X amount of sex with,
You had
with your
all
partner.
different all different 5 figures.
You know, you done, so it's just like now it's kind of just like, you don't really crave it as much. I mean, obviously it's something that you still want to do when
Yeah.
when it does come about, but it's not like something you're like, oh my God, I need this. It's not for me.
I
Yeah.
hadn't thought about that, Shane. I think you make a really good point. I hadn't thought about that. I think the older we get, it's not that, not only just life kind of gets in the way of us, in our sexual life, but yeah, I think like you said, it's not that new. It's not that like amazing anymore. And it's like, okay, I know what I like. I know what I got to do to come. Eh, Let's get it. Let's go. Like, it's not going to be like,
Let's do it and get it over with so I can go to sleep.
yep, that.
And then it's like you don't even really be pressed about like actually doing it physically sometimes, because sometimes it's just easier to use your vibrator and be done in 5 minutes, and you can just go to sleep
It's,
after that. You get it done
that's
and
what
be over with.
that's what I was gonna say. It's like now that we're older, it's like, you know what? Do I really want to go through the whole fucking shenanigans of having to like get my partner horny or get myself horny? Or is it worth for me to go in the shower real quick, go take care of myself, and then be good, go to sleep? Or even, you might want to have sex and your partner's not into it, or your partner wants to have it and you don't want to have it, and you're like, God, instead of it like having to feel like you have to, it's like go take care of yourself, go do your thing. Like
Right.
that's what it's there for. There's so many shapes, sizes. Yes.
Hey, but by yourself. Part. We gotta say
Yep.
part because they'll be, oh well, you told me I could do your own thing by yourself.
Yep. Because then they'd be wanting to take care of themselves but grab a boob or something. You're like, come on, that's not part of it. Like, don't grab my boobs.
You know what? I honestly don't mind that. If that means I don't have to do anything else. If that's what you need to get yourself off, that's perfectly fine with
Stimulate.
me. Just leave me out of it.
You're fine being the stimulator.
I'm fine being that. I'm fine. If that means that that's all you need to do what you
You're
gotta
like,
do, I will be there for you.
and you're like, hold on. It's 5 minutes too long.
That is perfectly fine. Just know when it's time for me to do me. Just don't be over there tripping like, oh,
Yeah.
why you doing that? Why you do what you do? Don't be tripping when you do what you do. I just sit here and pretend like
That's
you're not doing it.
not I sit here and pretend like you're not doing it.
I just mind my business and let you do what you do. So if it comes the chance for me to do what I gotta do, just mind your business.
You're like, I'm here thinking about my taxes. You just don't know I multitask. I'm thinking about taxes, thinking about dry cleaning.
I think that's another thing. You just have so much on your mind that the last
Yeah.
thing you mind is, trying to get freaky. Like you just said, you literally go to sleep and you're like, okay, I gotta do this tomorrow. This
Yeah.
has to be done. This has to be done. When do you
So
have
just to
time?
bring it back, I think normal, maybe twice a month is normal. For me, it'd be maybe two times a month. And that's when you have a full life and you have a life together. If we're dating, it needs to be a lot more often. Like if we were dating, it needed to be almost every other day. We need to
Yeah,
like we got time. We got time.
yeah, I agree. If it's fresh,
Fresh is
then
gonna always be like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
then with time it's gonna decrease. But if you've been together for a while, 2 months. Let me see. 2 times. You said two times a month?
2 times a month, every other week. Try to squeeze it in
I
there.
would at least say once a week, just because of just being
Okay.
busy and stuff. I could do once a week, but some
Once a
people
week.
they need more than that. And that's
I
where
could do once a week
Pamela
as well.
comes in, and that's where the vibrator comes in. You need more than that, and I can't do it, then just take care of it yourself. I'll be ready for you next week.
I could do once a week, but I would say realistically speaking, 2 times a month minimum.
Let's say like we could say 4 times a month on a good month, and 2 times.
Yeah. On a bad. Just
Y'all already know
pushing it.
some niggas gonna be looking at this, gonna be like, y'all gonna get cheated on, cause what?
we did say we are okay with devices and hands and doing other things that not exactly involve sex, because you have to build up to. So this is something that I was talking to somebody the other day. You have to build your partner to actually want to have sex with you.
Yeah, nobody just
Like you
went
can't
off
just
the
say,
bat
"Let me."
and ready.
Let's do it.
Like
Like
in
it's
the
a
house hot and ready. This is not a Little Caesar's pizza.
I don't know if it's a man. Like I don't know how a man's brain works, but I know theirs is like they're horny and they're horny. They can stick it, get it out, and they're done. Not us women. Like there's a lot more psychology to us. Like we're a little more complicated. So I think, yeah.
mental stimulation. Men are just
Yeah,
ready.
they'll just look at you and dig it hard. That's not how it works for me.
You
Like
gotta
I need I need my booty to be rubbed a little bit. Son.
Yes. Grab a little nipple or something.
Something, because you can't just bend nobody over and just expect them to be ready. That ain't gonna be fun for nobody.
Mm.
look,
Nope.
that's great. Like
Right.
Goddamn.
take it. Like no, do that.
I mean, I don't know. I think that there has to be some kind of buildup. Even if you want to build me up on my way home, I'm perfectly fine with that. Yep. By the time I get home,
a lot of nice things that happen in some cars.
yep.
You different ways to build it up. Like you can
Yeah.
send pictures, you can send text messages. Like it's different things that you can do. It doesn't all have to be feeling on a nipple and stuff like that. But
so you think maybe us as women, we're a lot more creative. We can use our brains maybe to stimulate ourselves. And men, it's like, and there has to be physical. They have to touch.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like, because this is another thing. Like, if you piss me off, don't think I'm about to come home and like, no, I'm pissed off. Like, I'm mad.
It's only one thing that's gonna get me out of that mood. It's only one thing that's gonna get me out of that mood. So if I am pissed off, that's what you gotta do.
Is that oral? Is that where oral comes in?
It's oral,
Not for me.
Y'all about to say, like, sir, to me, that's a privilege. So it's like, like, no, I'm pissed. Stop talking to me. Like,
oh, but I think that's something else too. Like, I think people know that we use sometimes sex as a tool and as like a weapon, and that's also not a good thing, because I think that kind of also affects your sex life when you start using it as like, I'm pissed off, I'm not gonna give you sex, baby. I'm gonna give you sex. Just know I'm pissed off, and when we're done, I'm not gonna be happy. I'm gonna be good because I came, but I'm not gonna be happy.
I'm gonna still be pissed off.
I'm gonna get mine.
I'm gonna be sitting there looking pissed off the whole time.
Just
don't sexy with a.
Like, look, you about to feel this energy.
No, that's Libra in you. Because I'm gonna get mine, and I'm gonna enjoy it all the way. But then I'll be
like J-Lo set it off when she was trying to get that check from that old man. Just sitting there like, I'm mad. So it ain't gonna be good for neither one of us.
That's too funny.
But hey,
you say you go feel the energy.
If I do it, I be trying. Like if I was to be mad during sex, my biggest thing would be moaning. I wouldn't say anything. I'll just be laying there.
That's savage, especially if you know the other person gets turned on with your moans. You're just gonna be like this.
I'm not about to make it.
It's a psychological thing to them. Like, why you not?
It really is.
Is it me? Like, what's going on? Whole time
I'm
enjoying it. I'm just not saying shit.
We can enjoy loudly and we can enjoy quietly, and we choose to enjoy quietly at those times.
Right. It's not. It don't mean I don't feel good. I'm just not gonna say nothing.
That's.
So you figure it out.
She said, "You figure it out. I'm gonna fuck with your head while you do it." That's too funny. I can't.
So,
She's
this does kind of bring me to my next question since we're kind of talking about it. So, do you ever feel burnt out, like with life, things going on, and you're not really in the mood? I think yes. And I only want to say that just because of, y'all know what I kind of been dealing with lately. And so, like you said, it's just so many things going on in your head, so much, you got to think about, I still have my Airbnb. I'm still trying to get into law school, thinking about what happened previously. It's a lot going on. And so
yeah,
it's like what you having mentally, like having so much on your mind, it really takes away from the sexual aspect of it. Like you don't
yeah,
want to not be sexual, you don't want to feel aroused, but at the end of the day, it kind of takes a toll to where it's like, how can you focus on having sex when you might not have the income coming in? How do you want to have sex when you got bills need to be paid? How do you want to have sex when things ain't all like 100%? Probably not even like 75%. And I think like it's crazy when people do have all that shit going on. The main thing on their mind is like sex. Like
sex.
you should be worried about something else besides that.
That's
Mm.
a responsibility to me. Like you just irresponsible to the point to where you don't even care what's gonna happen tomorrow. You just sit up here like, shoot, I would have busted
Then,
up.
then I'm a little irresponsible.
She's like, I don't care what's going on.
Sitting down with the lights
Let me
on. I don't give a fuck.
look. We gonna light a candle. We go big.
Well,
We go
I
big
mean,
on it.
maybe that just means it don't bother you as much. But for some
No,
people, it would.
but I think you're very right though. There is. I think there is as women, as people, there are so many things that can fuck with our heads, right? Too many things. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's like sex in that moment is like my moment to de-stress. We did see that's one of the fun facts. So when I'm in that moment, when I'm having intercourse, I'm de-stressing, and I mean like I'm like relaxing. So to me, it's because it's such like a de-stressor. Like people say, the gym is the de-stressor. Sex is the de-stressor for me. So do I enjoy it a lot more often? Yes, I do. But it's because of the fact that it relieves my stress. And then of course, maybe those 5, 10, 15, 20, I don't know, on a good day, 30 minutes, I'm not gonna think about anything happening. I'm gonna think about, look, I'm enjoying what's happening.
Yeah.
We're going through the motions. And then, oh shit, once I'm done, it's gonna be like, fuck, that bill needs to get paid.
Stressed
So
again.
yeah, so I think for me it's kind of just splitting things up and saying, you know what, let me enjoy this moment, but then again, I'm gonna go back to worrying about life.
So yeah, I think it still leads back to lack of responsibility. And I'm saying this because, like it's kind of like, like you have the nerds in school who are like,
Yeah,
I gotta get this test done. I cannot go outside and play unless
yeah,
for this, right? But then you have those
yeah,
people that's like, oh well shoot, I'm gonna go outside and play. I'll do that on the bus tomorrow morning. And that's kind of like the same thing, like, okay, I know that bill gotta get paid, but I'm about to have this moment of relaxation right now. I'll worry about that later. But then you got
mm-hmm.
that are like, this bill gotta get paid. Like, I don't even want to think about a fun time right
Right.
now, So yeah, I think that's what it boils.
I
But
think it does. It does come back to being a little irresponsible, but I enjoy being irresponsible for a good 30, 40 minutes.
I'm stressed
I
about
mean,
something, I can't think straight. Like, I
Yeah.
don't do none of that. Like,
right. I
it's the
can't.
whole time.
But I think even like when you're like super stressed, because I've had those moments where I'm like, we have like what we call a dry spell. You're like going through it with your spouse. If there's things happening, health, life, and maybe a month goes by and you're like, oh shit, I haven't had sex in a month. And you're like, how did that happen? Like how has that life? It's really life. So
Yeah.
what I say, so it's like when you're going through those dry spells, it's also about that person being able to put you in the mood, because I might not be in the mood. I might have 50, 100 things going through my head, but shit, do a couple of things that maybe might make me forget about what's happening right now, where to I can get my mindset to actually enjoy intercourse with you. It
Right.
can't just be where you're expecting me to have sex with you and that's it. Like let's work it out, let's get in the mood, and then let's do what we have to do. But I don't know.
Right.
I
Like,
think
so if you see your partner being stressed out, okay, well, what can I do since this is something I want to happen? What can I
Right.
do to make her more in the mood? I don't
Right.
know. Sit me down, shit, rub my feet. I don't know. I don't know. Just throwing some stuff out there. So if
It
you
could
know
be
that's something
simple.
that
It
you
doesn't have to be
want,
big.
yeah. But
Yeah.
just something to put that person in the mood so that way you can
Yeah.
get what you want out of it. Can't say
Right.
I've
It's a
never been caught
win-win.
slipping. I definitely been stressed out about some shit and then got,
Yeah.
so it's just like I mean it's
Yeah.
possible. It's just the other person has to understand too, like, dang, you got a lot on your mind. Like, what
Yeah.
could I do to make that better for you so that we can do it?
Right. Yeah, definitely.
like what you just said, Shay, is that I think that's another thing. And I think that's why it's important, like, for people to learn their partner's love language,
Mhm.
because I know my love languages is acts of services.
Mhm.
And when I feel like for example, if I am stressed out, and say for instance, my fiance comes home and he does the laundry, washes the dishes, cleans the house.
Mm.
It's one less thing that I have to worry about. So it's going to kind of put my mind at ease, and it's going to make it easier to get the draws. Cause now I feel like
Right.
trying to help me. I feel like I can trust you like you are my partner. We're in this together.
Now
But
you got a fresh set of panties waiting for you that is clean that you can slip on once you're done.
it's like, it's just like, oh my God, like you just don't know what this means to me. Then you have people
Mhm.
like receiving gifts. And it's like, like if you know your partner likes receiving gifts and they're having a bad day, stop by the store and buy them something. It could be the smallest little thoughtful gift. It could be a card that's
Yeah.
everything's gonna be okay. That's how you get the panties to drop. I
I'm a
mean,
food person. So with me, it's like if you feed me,
about panties. There you go. I got dessert for you. You feed
mhm,
you dessert. There you go. So
full belly equals sex for me.
yes. And that's why I say like that's a very an important thing, I think. Like some people like reassurance, like they just want you to know
Yeah.
how good they're doing and how, just put all these positive thoughts in their mind.
Mhm.
Whatever, just do it.
Yeah.
Your person is having a bad day. And
Yeah.
I promise y'all gonna get them draws more than twice a month.
I agree. I agree.
It'll be a good
Shit.
it'll be 4 times a month. No,
That's too funny.
but yeah.
All
Mm-mm-mm.
right. So, next question. Should sex be an obligation? Some people feel like you are obligated to give them sex no matter what time, no matter what day, no matter what you're going through, no matter how you feel, you are obligated because they are the man and they demand it.
I obligate to stop fucking working. Obligate you to fucking take care of all the bills. I obligate you to pay for all my expenses, and then you can obligate me to have sex with you.
Tell me
Not even
about it.
because even if you're paying all the bills, and look,
Look,
I'm not a thing. I am a
that's
human.
true.
You
Not
are
a
So
not
sex slave.
anybody's property. You don't owe nobody nothing.
no,
Mm,
no.
I
But I
agree.
think that I will say this in regards to that question: should sex be an obligation? I don't think it should be an obligation, but I feel like when people are in relationships or in marriages, they feel obligated. And
That. Mhm.
fear that if they don't have sex with their partner regularly, their partner may go out and find it elsewhere. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like either way, you feel obligated. I don't think it
Yeah.
should be an obligation, but you
But there's
feel
always
like,
that thought in the back of your head, if I don't put out, then that might push this person out and they might go do it with
yeah,
somebody else.
yeah.
Mm.
So no, I definitely don't think it should be an obligation.
So, how do you feel about scheduling the intercourse? If you got like a
Mm,
busy schedule and you're like, okay, well, you know what? So that we don't feel obligated, let's put it on the calendar. Let's agenda it so that maybe this weekend we know that it's going to happen and I don't have to feel obligated. I'm preparing myself mentally so that I know that this weekend we are going to have sex.
I don't
it
like
just sounds
that.
like the task.
You don't like it?
It's like
I,
another to do list. Like, oh,
yeah. I feel like all the movies I watched where they had sex schedules, I'm like, that shit lame. And they like a lame ass couple who just
There's movies with sex schedules.
like,
I
like these
missed
different
that.
movies where you have the couple in the movie and they have a sex schedule and they're like, okay, baby, it's Wednesday, and then all of a sudden, maybe at this time, maybe something came up, so therefore the schedule don't work right now. So it's like, oh, Wednesdays are our days. Like, don't put that much emphasis on Wednesday, goddamn. Let Wednesday be Wednesday.
Okay. Okay.
Like,
I mean,
no.
I thought about it, and I think if you have a crazy schedule and maybe you and your partner cannot agree on, look, this is what we should be doing, this is how often we should be having sex, I think maybe a sex schedule can be beneficial. Could I work out of a sex schedule? Never. Never. Like, you're not gonna fucking tell me when I'm gonna come. That's not gonna happen.
You only gonna come on Fridays at 7 p.m. Okay, that's
Yes, like,
it.
nah, that ain't gonna work. We gonna need to amend this contract because
If you
No, I
but I
rather
think
I
if
rather
it
it be
works.
spontaneous for me. I
Mm.
even with a busy schedule, I still rather it be spontaneous. Maybe it can't happen. Maybe it can happen during the day. Maybe we just happen to be off on the same day. And you woke up on some, I woke up ready for some, whatever. Or maybe after the kid go to sleep and we just happen to be in here watching a movie or drinking or whatever. And it just happens. I'd rather be spontaneous. I don't need a schedule. I don't want a schedule.
So would you say that maybe somebody that is not having the opportunity or schedules aren't kind of working out, or maybe one day a person wants to and the other one doesn't, and then vice versa, would it be better for them to kind of say, let's give each other an hour or 2 hours a day where we kind of start building that time together, kind of start, working out something, and then when it happens, but it shouldn't be kind of calendared. It's more like, let's give each other some time. Let's work on because to me, if I have the calendar set, it's kind of being obligated.
Mhm.
yeah, I
Yeah. So at that point, it's like, you're telling me we have to have sex on this day. And then what if I don't want to have sex on that Friday? I want to have it on
Exactly. You might
Tuesday.
not be in the mood. Maybe you had a bad day, but now you're like, damn it, it's Friday. We gotta have sex. I'm really not in the mood, but it's on the
feel like
schedule.
more
Mm,
like a job, like a task. Like
mm. I would definitely feel like it was a task if somebody put me on the schedule.
This
Please
is gonna
don't
be a
ever put
task
me
I
on
don't even want to participate in.
I'm like, please don't ever put me on the schedule.
and I'm a procrastinator, so
see, and I'm a rebellious person. I would hate to rebel on that schedule because I don't feel like it.
Mm, yeah, I don't know, but I've heard of it, so that's why I kind of asked about it because I thought about that. I'm like, a schedule. I don't know that I could, like, no. I've been having a lot less sex if I was put on a schedule.
I agree. I'll say this. I think maybe one thing that, like I said earlier, instead of like scheduling, especially like people who have like such busy lives where you could get tied up with everything that you forget to like, be intimate with your partner. I think a good thing is one thing that you could schedule is like date nights.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, and like I said earlier, for instance, if you are feeling a little frisky or whatever, you can start off like early in the morning when I go to work, just start sending little text messages and stuff. Just how we used to do when
Can't
we
wait to
forget
see you later.
Build
Or I
up
want you
to
to
it,
wear that
yeah.
sexy dress. Oh, you look good in
Okay.
that.
like little stuff like that to where when your partner kind of gets the hint early on.
Mm,
And when they come home, it's like, and of course, if you have kids, you got to make sure the kids are sleeping. It may not happen. It may not happen.
mm,
It at least kind of leads up to where the next time y'all have sex, it'll be like already like pre-warmed or whatever. It's like,
mm.
but I definitely think date nights are something that people should schedule
I was
on
gonna
a
say I can get behind that because I think you just get a different vibe. I get to really like, enjoy each other's time, get some drinks in, and then by the time y'all come home, it's on.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
yep. And then you never mind.
I think, look, also be okay with a quickie.
Oh,
Yes,
the
everything don't
Be
have to
okay.
be 2 hours long.
Quickies are a-okay.
yes, definitely. Because who got time?
And don't expect your partner to do all the work. Be mindful of that too. Like, I guess work up to it, and when you do, just be willing to put in some work and be okay with a quickie. It's okay if it takes 2 minutes.
They got as long as the job got done.
Make it the best 2 minutes of your day.
That's 2 minutes. Yeah, you're right. Take longer to take your clothes off.
Or not. Just keep them on and pull
No,
those hands
don't,
down.
like don't even take it out. Just unzip it. Let's go.
Lord have mercy.
If they'd
Okay.
be okay with that, they would be having a lot more sex. I think so. Like, okay, we okay with the quickies?
Yeah.
Let me go put the laundry in real quick. I got 2 minutes for you.
Be with the motion of the ocean of the washing machine.
Yeah. Multitasking.
I mean, honestly, when you have kids, you gotta learn how to do it within them 2 minutes. Because
That's true.
look, they be like, "Mommy," just break.
Little fingers under the door. When your kids are the biggest turn off.
Like, you
All
know what?
right. What?
No, I was saying like you just be like, never mind. Like we just start over later.
We tried.
Steph is just going through it. Her PTSD just I can see the PTSD.
Oh man.
She's like them damn kids.
I like your shirt too, by the way.
Who's?
Yours, I like the little
This is
arms, the
cute.
little shoulders.
Thank you, girl. Thank you.
It looks very beachy, very summery.
I'm prepared. No, no, I just threw it on because
It be like that.
but it came out cute. Thank y'all.
All right.
Oh.
So next question, last question. Why is sex still a taboo topic? Like it's one of them topics that you really can't talk about with your mama, even though you're old enough to talk about it with her. She really don't want to hear about it. You still think of you as a little 8-year-old kid who should not be
Yeah.
doing it, and don't let you get pregnant. Oh Lord, you got pregnant? Yeah, you was having sex.
That's kind of how it works.
It wasn't like IVF or anything.
Mm-mm.
No, but I think it's more so like upbringing, and I think it's slowly fading away as the generations go by. Like I feel like the generations after us, after our generation, they're a lot more open about sex.
Mm.
And I think it's evolving. Like I know I wouldn't dare talk about sex with my mama. Like it was like, what?
It's just
No.
something you shouldn't even be doing. You shouldn't even be doing it. Why are we talking about this?
Like,
Or when the people go
ahead.
No, I was gonna say when people like it never ceases to amaze me how people think their parents weren't or are still not having sex. It's like, come on, your parents have been married for 50 years, have 10 kids. Do you really think they're not having sex just because they're older? Come on, them people are probably getting freakier than we are at our 30s.
Look, you
It
know
was
how much
probably
sex you gotta have for 10 kids?
Yeah.
What you said, Steph? Oh,
You're muted, I think.
I think
Oh,
she
okay,
meant.
she's yeah, I think so too.
but yeah,
I
go ahead.
I think it's taboo, like you said, upbringings. Our parents didn't want to really tell us about sex. They didn't want us to have sex. And I think there was a time where people thought that if they talked about sex, it would be pushing you into having sex. But I think that's all that miseducation is the reason why people just think that sex is what it's not. And it's like I
Yeah.
tell my daughter all the time, like, don't TVs, they over romanticize stuff. Porn over romanticizes stuff. Just know it's not gonna be the best thing when you initially start having it. Going back to like what Shay said, it's as you get older, you know what you want, you know what you like, you start learning what turns you on, what doesn't. But like when you're first having sex, it's not like You're gonna have things coming up here, going this way. You're not even gonna know where it goes. Like, like you got
And
to
it
test
might not
out and
even
see.
be it might not even be enjoyable. Like, let's just
Yeah,
be honest,
yeah,
especially just trying to do it itself and just figure out what it is you even doing. It's not that
yeah,
great. I think the boys have more fun with it than we do in
yeah.
the beginning, to be honest, because they just
Mhm.
just be doing the most. And it's just like I think it took me a while to really figure out what I like. And actually it takes a while to figure out how to make yourself come. Like, a lot of people think it's all for the other person to make you come. In
Mhm.
reality, it's you having to figure out like when it's about to happen and how to bring it out of yourself.
Mhm.
The
I
mind.
agree.
It's a mind thing. And I
It
Mhm.
really
love
is.
when two people can come at the same time. I feel like y'all be so in sync. And it's like, oh, we came together.
Not the in syncness.
Is the romantic in you, girl? Because listen,
It really is because I'm gonna come and I'm look. We gonna take another 2 or 3 minutes for you. And if you can't do it, in 2 or 3
I
It's
don't
not
need
the
to find.
romantic in me. It's happened plenty of times.
Like
minutes.
y'all ever played the game The Sims? Y'all ever
Yes.
played?
Yeah.
Y'all know on The Sims, like the latest versions when they like they were supposed to be having sex,
And
but they
the cloud appears.
and it-
Yeah.
fireworks and stuff.
They have fireworks every single time. It's what
Yep.
every time.
Nah, somebody's lying to them kids.
And then like right after they just go, and they just go right to sleep.
They
Look,
energy levels go down and everything, but they happiness goes up.
I be
energy
feeling bad. I'm
levels
like,
go down.
I should be watching this and be over there making
No.
them do it every time.
Oh no.
Yeah, but
No.
I'll say this because like you said, like I said, I'm pretty sure none of us felt comfortable talking about sex with our parents. I know I didn't. But because of it, like sometimes when my child talks to me about sex, I literally freeze because I'm just like, it kind of like brings me back to my childhood, and I'm like, why does he feel comfortable about this? Like you're
It's a good thing though.
is. And I have to remember that. So I have to like I literally have to like make myself act normal. Like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, talk about this over tea.
Now tell me, how do you feel?
With
I'm
the
like,
cups
oh,
shaking.
I'm like, so did they have sex or not? And yeah, and then I'm like, I hope I don't sound like too like police.
Motherly.
Yeah. So and it just be spilling the tea. And I
Yeah.
like, I wish I was this comfortable with my mama, or do I? I'm like, I don't know.
I, I,
But
I think there's certain things that can be shared, not everything. I share some things with my mother and not like every single thing, but we talk about it. I think it's become normal as I got older because when I was younger, definitely we never talked about it. It was very taboo to touch because it's like you ask questions like, why are you thinking about having sex? Are you thinking about doing this? And I'm curious. I have questions. And I think as parents, it's okay for us to kind of feed their curiosity up to a certain point. But I don't know. I think, like you said, that this new generation is a lot more free in asking those questions, and maybe we weren't. We were kind of like, "Ooh, that I don't want to ask my mom
I
that
mean,
because they're gonna think bad."
I would rather my kid ask me to be asking her friends who just as ignorant as she is. Like, just if you have any questions, just ask me and I can give you the true educated like answer
Yeah,
surrounding it versus you getting the wrong information from somebody who probably ain't even never did it. They just probably saw it or heard about it themselves.
that
yeah.
that. hmm
So I would, even though it may be uncomfortable, I would rather them talk to me.
I think
Okay.
they come talk to you, you hear what they say, and you can better educate them. Like,
Yeah,
um, like a lot of these kids don't understand. Like they think they're naive and they think they're doing things with their friends. And I'm like, when you hear them talk to you, they don't even know that they're kind of telling on themselves.
yeah,
But you can correct them, like Shay said, it's like you'd rather tell them than the friend who is just as
yeah,
ignorant as them when it comes to that. Because like it's situations where my son will be like, oh, well, I'm going to such and such house and we're just hanging out. And I'm like, okay, there's female's gonna be there. So then I can educate him and be like, look, if she drunk, if she says no, if y'all in the room by yourselves, don't be in the room by yourselves, don't have the doors locked. I'm like, don't do none of that. I said, because it's gonna be her story against yours. And then there's gonna be the criminal justice system. And we don't know who they're gonna believe, but that's why you don't put yourself
Right.
in that situation. Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. Like, if I'm not aware that if he's lying to me and saying, "Oh, I'm going to this party and it's only going to be guys there,"
Yeah.
because he thinks I'm a go off on him or tell him no, you can't go. It's like, I'd rather know that there's going to be girls there so that I can tell you, okay, what to do, what not to do. So,
Mhm.
getting you in a situation where I'm gonna be getting a phone call and I'm be like, what? Like, what's going on? Why didn't you tell me that? Why didn't this? I
Yeah.
don't know why didn't you tell me this?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I knew where you were. I knew what you was doing. You should have known better. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So
Even like for the girls, it's like the same conversation in reality. Like, the whole 7 minutes in heaven. Don't be going up in no closet with no boy because you never know how that story gonna turn around by the time you come up out of there.
7
Don't
minutes of
be.
heaven.
That's what I hear on TV. I don't know if they still do that, but that's what's on TV. And then you have
Okay.
girls who, like you said, be in the room with all these guys. Next, you know, the girl getting a train ran on her. Now she the slut of the school. Like, do you really want to be that girl? You don't want to be that girl. That stigma is gonna forever be with you throughout high
Yeah.
school, and you better hope you get into a college where your high school friends ain't there, because now you're gonna be the hope from high school in college. Like, you don't want to do that, and don't think it's cute. It's not cute to have multiple boys running trains on you and having intercourse with you all at the same time. That's nasty. You don't want to be that person.
It's little girls living the life of an adult. I think that's where it's like
Of a porn star.
yeah.
Goddamn.
Yes, a porn star. Quite
what?
literally a porn star.
And look, that's what they think it's okay to do. That is cute.
Yeah.
Not, or they don't have
That's
nobody
crazy.
enough to say you don't need to be having a train ran on you. You don't need to be in a room by yourself with boys because you
Anyway.
get off the wrong message, and some
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
and again, it goes back to, you need to avoid these type of situations so that
Yeah.
you get into a situation.
Yeah, I agree. I think going back to why it's still kind of taboo. Um, I think up to think about it. Every depiction that there is of sexual intercourse in life is for what? To create life.
Mm-hmm.
It is now the generation that we're in, maybe even our parents, the 70s, 60s. It hasn't been, I can assure you, maybe no more than 200 years when people actually started admitting that sex can be had for pleasure and not just to procreate. So
Yeah.
so I think that's why it was such a big taboo thing, and it kind of continues to be because nobody wants to admit to having a good, plentiful, healthy sexual life. Most people don't want to share their intimacy with other people, and that's okay. Whether it be just because they don't want to share it and they're shy, they're scared, they don't want their details out there. Whatever it may be. But again, I think we're slowly kind of transitioning out of sex only being to have kids, and it's being transitioned into, oh, I can do this and enjoy it.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, the
Yep.
other day I was watching some show with my baby on TV. It was some PG-13 show or something. And in the show, the little girl had a crush on this boy. They think they're crushing on each other. And then they kissed. And I was like, the mom and me kicked down. I was like, you don't do that. I was like, boys have cooties. She's like, I know. I said, oh, you know? She's like, yeah. I said, okay, good, you know.
That's so cute. It's too cute.
I was like, don't get no ideas. Go around here kissing people.
Oh.
My daughter doesn't know, she knows cooties aren't a real thing, so now I scare her with mono. Mono. You
Oh
kiss
no,
people,
now we gotta get
you can
real.
get mono. Yeah, I'm like, you can get mono. Stop kissing up on people. It's
You get a
nasty.
lot of shit from kissing people. So
Herpes. Mm.
so
It's
I think
real.
I think just for like the 8-year-old mind, I was cooties. It's cooties for right now, but it's definitely gonna
Cooties
escalate
is
to what
good.
those it's definitely gonna escalate to what those cooties actually are. Cause
it
because it's a real thing. It's just not called
it
cooties.
really is. Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
ugh. Just trying to keep my child innocent while I
It's
can.
hard. It's hard. It's hard now.
And
in
then I
this
be hating those
society.
shows because it just shows them doing that stuff, and I'm just like, why are you
And
for?
it's getting worse and worse, like the stuff that they expose these kids to.
Well, sex sells too. You know, it sells.
Well, send it to the adults.
Yeah, don't sell it to the kids, not the
Well,
kids.
we already know it's not as good as it seems on TV, so they can't really sell us sex because we're like, that's a lie. You see the woman on TV with her hair all, her face all flushed and moaning and jumping and jelly, and you're like, you're doing too much, girlfriend. You're doing too much.
I mean, sometimes it can be like that.
Yeah, but not every single time.
No, not
Wish,
every
Come on.
time.
wish. No, your hair is not gonna be flowing in it. No,
I've had encounters where I have been that person, and hair's been all over the place, and it's been a whole vibe.
Okay.
the meme where they be like, what you think you look like when you having sex?
Oh man.
You
What
look like
you
this.
look like?
You think you look that way. You think your hair is flowing in the wind.
And that
Whole
just traumatizes
time.
us even more because now we're like conscious of our sex faces. Now you're like, oh, I don't want to make that face. Do I look like that when
I know.
he's
I be
like,
asking, like,
no,
what does my face look like? It's an ugly face, huh? They be like, no.
not
I
us
feel like
being
it is. I feel like
self-conscious.
it is.
That's
I feel
funny.
like half the time I can't even keep my eyes open. It's not because I want them to be closed. It's just because I literally
You're
can't
enjoying
open
it.
them.
I literally can't open up.
I be trying to open them, but they just don't work.
And then you feel like you're gonna look creepy if you're staring. Like, what are you doing?
Oh man.
I ain't
No.
gonna lie. Sometimes I do like the eye contact. I feel like it helps with the orgasm at times. So sometimes I'll be like, look at me. Look at me.
Damn.
Look
I be
into
trying to
my eyes.
I be trying to have souls be snatched and all kind of stuff. Snatch it and give it back.
Oh man. But yeah.
Okay, Voldemort.
Take your soul and hang it
Snatching
on the wall.
souls.
Get back.
Oh
They
boy.
are hilarious.
I'm just being
Yes.
honest. I'm being honest. We being honest here, I'm being honest.
Okay. Soul snatcher. Okay.
That's gonna be your nickname.
Yep, the soul snatcher.
Oh man.
Because
All
I'm
right.
telling you,
I can dig that.
it ain't nothing better than when y'all finish and he go to sleep. You feel like you did your job, he did his job, cover each other up, and y'all sleep.
Agree. I think when you come really good, you should be tired. You should have the need to go pee and then go to sleep.
Don't empty that bladder.
Period.
And then go to sleep. Be like, it's good. You did good. Good night.
Good job. High five.
I'll high five you to that if you want it. Yes.
Next week.
See you next week.
Oh man.
We will meet again next
Look,
week. Same time.
different time, same energy. Who knows?
Keep that energy.
That, yes. The energy has to be kept because don't come in here next week looking like you ready. Like the fuck. Oh God. Good chat, guys.
That's
Good
it.
topic.
So we want to thank you for tuning into our podcast. Again, if you enjoyed our content, please subscribe to our channel, like and comment. We love feedback. While you're at it, follow us on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, whatever your favorite podcast is, we're likely on it. You can also find us through Instagram and TikTok. Please go follow, like, comment, whatever you want to do. We're on there. Also, if you have a topic that you would like for us to discuss, or if you'd like to be a guest on our podcast, feel free to email us. We are always looking for different topics on different subjects to discuss. Again, thank you and see you all next week for your weekly scoop serving. Peace.
Hey.
Bye.